Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown,
the unofficial sumo podcast
for official sumo fans.
Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown. This is Ryan.
This is Jake.
This is Flerick.
And this is Mac.
And this is our preview episode for the Natsu Basho. If you want to... let's start this over again. I'm sorry.
No, let's keep going. This is...
No, I like it.
That's the start of the Reiwa era.
You're doing great, bud.
What a wonderful start it was. I'm working on very little sleep, so I apologize.
So we get to make fun of you even more now, is what you're saying.
It's going to be a
pretty
lot
much.
easier,
I
pretty much.
like it.
I don't have a whole lot of sleep in me either, but I'm just going to shut up.
That's probably what I would do if I wasn't driving the bus. This episode is being recorded a full 7 days before the start of the Basho, so there's still some things up in the air, mainly Hakuho status, that we are unsure of at this time. So we're going to be speculating on that, and we'll find out a firm answer probably Wednesday or Thursday if you'll be entering the Basho. We do have some exciting news as far as Grand Sumo Breakdown is concerned. If you are listening to this episode, we have launched our YouTube channel and our Instagram account. Our YouTube channel, you'll be able to find all of our old episodes, and all of our new episodes will be instantly uploaded to YouTube at the same time as they are to all the different podcast feeds. So if you would prefer to listen to us that way, that will be available to you.
We'll also be starting our Instagram channel where you will see many, many pictures of my dog. And I don't know. I don't think we do a whole lot else that can be sent by pictures, so it's probably just mostly going to be Bubbles.
Yeah, that's fair.
She is adorable.
I'll send in a few of Piper just to even things out so it's not all Jake household animals.
I'm the one with the password on that one, so
Dang it.
you can stick to Twitter.
Foiled again.
That's fine. Twitter will be dominated by Piper. As always, on our preview episodes, we are going to try to put some emphasis on some of the vocab words that you might not be familiar with if you are a first-time listener to... or not listener, but just watcher of sumo wrestling.
Bubbles, for example, is my dog, the cutest dog. Ryan said so in a previous episode.
That will be addressed. Piper is my dog, the actual cutest dog. But also in the vein of welcoming new sumo wrestling fans, we have also redone our Intro to Sumo episode. It's going to last significantly longer than the 17 minutes our first ever episode was. We've learned significantly more about sumo since we recorded that first episode, and a lot more about podcasting.
Especially the latter.
So it should be a lot better of an intro for people that are new to sumo and to Grand Sumo Breakdown than our initial one.
Slight correction. Don't go back to the April Fool's one.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mac.
We
did do an April Fool's joke one. And don't listen to that.
We got a few people.
We did get a few people, which makes me happy.
But yeah, I'll change the title of that one on Libsyn or something like that so that it's less confusing now that it's no longer April Fool's Day.
I did put something in the YouTube description, just making a note, April Fool's episode.
Okay, good.
Don't listen. But before we get going on all the happenings for Natsu, we need to take a quick look back at Haru with our field correspondent, B. Take it away.
Hey guys, B here with your Sumo Spring Stampede pay-per-view report. It seems like real life really is the best storyline guide sometime, with the last tournament of the Heisei era bringing that full fight feel to it. All the big spots, Hakuho, Zensho, Yusho with that awesome muscle tear angle at the end, Goedo playing babyface in his hometown. Wasn't a huge fan of the ref bump in that Day 15 Aoyama match, but otherwise a really strong uppercard and main event scene altogether. With that said, there can be too much of a good thing. I know everyone loved that losing streak gimmick Yoshikaze had a few tournaments ago, but whose gym bag was everyone caught eating chicken over this month? Ikioi, Kaisei, Tochiozan, Nishikigi, and Yutakayama all with less than 5 wins. It's cute once or twice every few basho, but this felt like overkill. The best booking by far was that Tochinoshin Takakeisho T-Bowl match. That's a year's worth of storyline right there. Tochinoshin fights back from injury, gets the Yusho from the rank and file, falters as an Ozeki, down to one match left to hold his rank. Hotshot native Japanese Takekeijo gets that young Yokozuna Yusho, the next great hope after Kizuno Sato Zintai, loses his promotion by one match last Basho, and has to beat a fierce Tochinoshin fighting to keep what's his, both their fates coming down to one match. I hope they don't give up on Tochi's push, but Takekeijo has face of the company written all over him. This is how you make a star. Oh, and P.S., I checked the RSS feed. You guys were here in Osaka for a day and didn't hit me up? The hell? Is Jake still mad about that Haru doing thing I sent him? It was a joke. Please tell him to unblock my number. I'm very lonely. I'll talk to you guys in May.
We know it's lonely over there, but
And yes, I'm still mad.
yeah, we're giving you a daily stipend of $5. Stretch it out.
How many is that? Like 2 million yen?
Something like
I'm
that.
Not
He's
good
got to
with
be the
numbers.
richest man over there.
I'm not good with numbers, but
Just
I think we're
keep
doing
soldiering
fine.
on. Soldier on, B.
All right, and with that, let's jump into a quick Bonsuke overview. We have started releasing Bonsuke predictions and review episodes, so most of this information is going to be covered in that section, so we're going to go through this a lot quicker than we usually would. New to the Sanyaku ranks, or just new in the Sanyaku ranks, we have Takekeijo officially promoted to Ozeki, and so he will be your Ozeki to East. We will get a lot more into Takekeijo later on in the podcast. At Sekiwake, Ichinojo is making his triumphant return there after a couple of bashos in the Maegashira ranks, and Tochinoshin is making his not-so-triumphant return to Sekiwake after being demoted from Ozeki. Once again, we will talk more about Tochinoshin coming up in the podcast. Komusubi, we have Aoyama making a big jump from Maegashira 7. He will be Komusubi East, and Mitake Yumi will extend his consecutive Sanyaku Basho streak to 14 as he slides over to Komusubi West.
And we talk about this a lot in our Bonsuke review episode, but Mitake Yumi is one of several guys, actually a lot of guys, who kind of got lucky because of the way the Bonsuke turned out. You know, in a different situation, he may have gotten a bigger demotion, but he just clings on to the bottom Sanyaku rank because of the way the Bonsuke turned out.
Yep, that's exactly right. And we'll just finish up the Zone of Death or the Joy or the top 16 Mixi.
The ones who are expected to face the Yokozuna.
Exactly. So at Maegashira 1, you have Hokuto Fuji and Kodo Shogiku. Maegashira 2, Endo and Daisho. Maegashira 3, Chiyo Tairyu and Tamawashi. And at Maegashira 4 East, Oki no Umi. Do have a quick correction from our Natsu Bonsuke review episode. I said that it was Asano-Oyama's 4th consecutive basho at Maegashira 8. It is actually his 3rd consecutive basho at Maegashira 8. I heartily apologize to everybody who I led astray and went about spouting off that fun fact incorrectly.
How dare you?
But a tiny little bonus fun fact. It is actually Kotoeko's 3rd consecutive basho at Maegashira 15 West.
Yeah, wait for next episode for the correction on that one.
Yeah, exactly. And then just real quick, want to highlight some of the big jumpers and droppers from the last Bonsuke. As mentioned before, Aoyama and Kodo Shogiku both jumped up 7 ranks to Komusubi and Maegashira 1 respectively. Ikioi dropped 9 ranks all the way down to Juryo, and Kaisei and Tochiozan also dropped 7 ranks. Luckily for them, they were higher up in the Bonsuke, so they are not in Juryo. Some career highs. We have Takekeijo, obviously being promoted to Ozeki. That is his career high. Meisei is at his career high of Maegashira 7 West. And Tomokaze in his 2nd basho is up to his career high of Maegashira 9 West. Newcomers?
Oh,
I thought you said you were
I'll talk
that.
about the newcomers.
There you go.
I thought there was more of a segue.
That's what I was hoping for. I was like, okay, just end it, Ryan. All right.
Gonna just let Jake slide right in there, but I guess not.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not good on cues this morning. So we have two new guys in the top division. We have Shima Noumi and the sweet, adorable, precious, tiny baby Enho.
Sweet baby Enho.
Shima Noumi, kind of a late bloomer. It's actually his 42nd basho, and he is 29 years old. So he's, it took him a while, but he's finally made it click. He did great at the beginning of his career and kind of stalled out in Makushita for a long time. He did have a big injury where he missed most of a year, 5 straight basho. But yeah, then he won his way back up into Sekitori status eventually. And the last 2 basho, he's gone 13-2 and won the Yusho. So whatever it is, it has clicked in 2019 for Shima Noumi. He is going up to Megashira 12. Ryan, in his analysis, thought that he should be going a little bit higher, but Megashira 12 is where he ends up. But yeah, mentioning that dear, sweet 8-pound, 6-ounce newborn baby Enho in his golden fleece diapers with his curled up, fat, balled up little fists pawing at the air. Enho is 24 years old, but this is only his 13th basho. We've covered him plenty on the podcast, but
Since his career began, pretty much.
Yeah, he went 21-0. He had a ton of hype behind him, and he's only had 1 losing record in his entire career.
He's kind of the prodigy of Hakuho, who's the top Yokozuna.
Yeah, so Enho is what Hakuho wanted Ishiura to be. But
Well, I mean, it remains to be seen if
Many Hankas
will
later.
surpass the career ranking of Ishiura.
Yeah, Ishiro is focused on baby making for a little bit. We'll see how it goes from there.
Nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, that stable, Hakuho's stable has him and the 2 smallest guys in the division. Mm-hmm. Those are the 3 Miyagi-no-Beya representatives in the top division. So Enho, like we said, he's only had 1 losing record in his entire career, and that was when he took his first swing at the Juryo division. But other than that, he's got 12 winning records, and he's on the heels of just a barely winning record, an 8-7 in March. But because of the way the Bansuke shook out, he is making it into the top division, and he is going to be ranked at Megashira 14.
He's too young.
He's too young.
Too young.
He's
24.
He's 24.
No.
Taka Keisho's younger than him.
Yeah.
He's an Ozeki.
No.
He's too small.
Precious,
That's what-
adorable, tiny infant.
He's not
Enho.
ready for this. He's just not ready.
Oh dear.
We shall see. Maybe he'll surprise everybody. I doubt it, but maybe.
I can hope.
All right. Mentioned it a little bit before. Ikioi dropping out of Makuuchi to Juryo. He is joined by 3 others, that being Chiyo no Kuni, who was absent from the previous basho with injury, Toyo Noshima, and Yutakayama, all dropping down into Juryo.
That also means, though, that we get our other official mascot of GSB back into the top division.
My boy.
Mac, take it away.
My not so small little baby boy.
Giant infant.
Giant, round-bellied mountain of a man with 4 chins, last I counted. Chiyomaru is coming back to the Magashira ranks, and I couldn't be happier.
That's up 1 chin since the last time I counted.
Indeed.
We do regular surveys.
Yes.
He's been training.
Expeditions.
Apparently, one of the things he likes to do is, in the middle of the night, come up to other wrestlers as they're sleeping and say, "Hey, you're asleep," and then lay on top of them. Did I read that? I must have read that somewhere. How did I know that?
He's posted Instagram videos. He did this to Enho a couple times recently on the tour, but he'll like wake them up and say, "Hey, you should get some sleep while you can." And he'll film it on Instagram and then just kind of walk away.
I don't think Enho was too pleased after like the 3rd straight time.
I think I saw the video on Instagram where the first time he was like, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Have you seen his smile? He's just a jolly man.
And then the next time he's like, what do you, stop it.
Maybe a budding rivalry between the 2 mascots of the GSB.
The smallest and one of the
Podcast.
biggest guys in the entire division.
If Enho can actually get his hands on Chiyomaru's Mawashi, that will be interesting.
He can throw his back right out.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think Chiyomaru is just a prankster in general.
That's why I love him so much. That and the adorable face. He's just so cute.
And round.
Well, yes, and round.
Almost
That belly.
perfectly so. All right, let's move on into the biggest storylines coming into the Natsu Basho, and I think everyone can agree the biggest one is Hakuho He won the Zensho Yusho at Haru, but in that final match against Kakuryu, he tore a bicep muscle. I believe the clinical term is coracobrachialis is the muscle that he tore.
Ooh.
Good memory.
Yeah.
Zensho Yusho, by the way, means he went undefeated. So he went 15-0, and he has more undefeated basho than any active wrestler has total basho wins.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
it's
He's a badass. Is
Let me-
you mean
simply
current?
put.
You mean
Let me
current?
rephrase.
Yeah.
Any of all the wrestlers that are wrestling right now, none of them have as many total tournament wins as Hakuho has undefeated tournament wins.
Okay, that makes more
It was
sense.
a clumsy stat, but it's still an impressive one. But yeah, so it's not uncommon for him to go 15-0. But yeah, he did get a potentially really bad injury right at the end.
Yeah, and he took part in the Jungyo in so much that he did his dohyo iri every day, but he didn't do any upper body workouts or any matches on the dohyo. He has begun doing upper body workouts for the first time about a week and a half before the basho began. He has had top division Nishi fully charge at him during some inter-heya practices, and they targeted his injured arm. He says he feels fine. That's the latest quote we got, and he said he may begin practice matches depending on how his arm feels like the following morning.
I when you say targeting his injured arm, I'm just imagining like Hakuho just standing up with his arm out, and then they just tachi-eyeing, like running into it. Like,
Red
full
Rover,
speed.
Red Rover, send Takara Fuji on over.
Yeah, and they just like do, and they just get like flip over. Like,
That or he's trying to clothesline guys.
yeah, that's what I was
Or-
thinking. Like they just get clotheslined the entire time.
As
I'm
we all
seeing-
know, Hakuho is an immovable wall.
I'm seeing a pattern here. The Yokozuna not getting surgery for serious injuries.
Yeah, that kind of was the question, right? Like whether or not he should get some surgery for it, and he elected not to do it.
Said it would take too long to heal.
Well, that's what Kisano Sato said, and look what happened there.
Instead, let me just injure it worse for a year and a half.
Exactly.
At least Hakuho has a nice long career at Yokozuna that Kisei Sato didn't really ever get to have. So maybe
I know he only
He can
was
take that-
Ozeki for a very long time.
Well, yeah, but
Scrub.
Never mind all those June Yusho wins he
I was
had
saying-
for years.
Hakuho has had his time at the top of the mountain, so maybe he's considering that when not getting the surgery. He's already had all of his moments, so maybe he doesn't want to take this surgery because it doesn't. I don't want to say it doesn't mean as much, but he can take more of a risk since he's already had such a good career. Whereas Kiseno Sato was just getting to the apex of his career when he had his injury, so he had more to risk by not taking that surgery because he could. Who knows what he could have done if that injury didn't pretty much stop his career dead in its tracks.
So they're taking the same gamble, just with different stakes.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Well, I'll have to see how it turns out. Obviously, we want the injury not to be a big deal, and Hakuho to continue a nice longer career of just dominating everyone, so they can't get any Yushos.
But could that taint any potential victories that other Rikishi might have? Will it come back to like, oh, well, he's injured. Oh, well, he's, still fighting that bicep tear. I mean, if for the ones that do beat him at that point, does that make that victory less? Less? Is it hollow? Is it less than what it could have been?
Oh yeah, for sure. Unless he goes unless we can look at after the fact, unless he wins the whole entire thing, like any kind of, I think, assuming that he's at 100% is not something we could do right now.
We've talked about it on previous episodes that it's kind of frustrating that this generational turnover that we're kind of at the beginning of could be really unsatisfying in the sense that if Hakuho, Kakuryu, and Kiseno Sato already has been defeated more by injury than by up-and-comers who are taking the mantle of the top guys, then that's just it's just gonna leave doubt that the era that's ending is a bigger deal than the era that's beginning.
I wonder if how much of that is us. This is just our first time kind of seeing an era end. Like, we didn't see when Takanohana, Akebono, Musashi Maru, kind of that era. And Takanohana, he was out for 7 straight basho, or 6 or 7, I think, right before he retired. So, something similar with him. we haven't seen the end of Yokozuna careers. Maybe this is just how it is every time, because I have a feeling as I get older, the injuries are going to pile up. So this could be a lot more common during the changeover than we think.
Well, I've seen 2 Yokozuna career ends, and I consider myself an expert.
And literally half of them.
That's half of them have been by injury.
The other half by scandal.
Yep, so I think that ratio probably holds. I'm not going to look into it.
Everybody knows no Yokozuna just retires because he's had enough. Except
They
I
either
think,
beat someone up or live long enough to see themselves be the beaten up one.
I think Musashi Maru.
Work
Yeah.
on that one.
I'll work on it.
that one.
I think Musashi Maru retired after a U show. Jake, do some looking up real quick.
Don't tell me what to do.
But it was either like
Fine.
1 or 2 right after a U show, or I could be remembering that completely differently. But while Jake is looking that up, Mac and Fleric, do we think Hakuho participates in the Natsu Basho?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say at this point, he should stay out, maybe heal up a little bit, and then come back for the next one, fully charged, ready to go. That way, anybody that tries to say, oh, well, I'm going to beat you this time, Hakuho can just have that little swagger that he always does and go, nope, I'm 100%. You're not going to beat me.
Well, now there's a big difference between should and will.
Oh, I know that. It's he should, but will he? Yeah, he probably will.
You think he'll sit out?
Yeah, I think he will.
Yeah.
Following up on the Musashi Maru fun fact, it turns out the 5th member of the podcast, Sumo DB, is not helping me out right now. They know we're recording.
Again.
Go to Wikipedia.
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I think if people were doing like tachi eyes right into his arm, if we're hard to believe it, obviously that's an exaggeration, but it sounds like training is at least hopeful. It's hard to kind of tell. He definitely has nothing to prove. I think he's going to at least start out, and if he starts to falter at all, he's just going to step out and take some time to heal.
Musashi Maru won a U show at the end of 2002 and then had a year of injuries before he retired.
Dang it.
So kind of the opposite, but, whatever.
Darn it. Okay.
Wikipedia is the new 5th member of this podcast.
They're never down.
Sorry, Sumo DB.
You're fired.
So, Fleric, you had mentioned like he doesn't really have anything to fight for, like too much. I know.
I'm sorry. Continue.
I was just going to say that I know competing in the first Basho of the Reiwa era is really important to him. Like, he really wanted to end, it was the Heisei era.
Yep.
He really wanted to end that with a win, and he wanted to begin Reiwa with a tournament win. So I know that's really important to him and could be driving him possibly not getting that surgery and trying to come back as fast as possible. But also he has Ishiura and Enho both in Makuuchi, which means they can both be like his little guys during
Attendance.
his doyo iri. And I think that's a pretty big deal to Hakuho as well. And we don't know if they're both at the bottom of the Bansuke. We don't know if they'll both be here come Nagoya.
Yeah, that is possible. But if he's at least in for the first day, he gets a doyo iri. That kind of takes care of that point. And I think it's kind of hard to tell whether or not that's something really important to him about the doyo iri.
I do think it is really cool that, from the exact same stable, a lot of the times if they don't have 2 other guys in their same stable, they'll get somebody from like a friendly stable to them or something like that. But I'm sure it's a big deal to have, now that Enho, fresh from the manger, is now in the top division and he can join him. I think that'll be really cool, especially because it'll make Hakuho look like a giant.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah, a 6'4" Yokozuna flanked by like these 2 5'7", 5'8", I mean, bodybuilders, but still.
Yeah.
It's been a plan long in the making.
Yeah. But no, to answer your point, whether or not he winning the Reiwa Basho is really important to him, I think it probably is. But I still feel like Hakuho is not dumb. He wants to continue. He's gotten surgery in the past. My guess is like he doesn't think the bicep tear is all that serious, and so I think he is going to compete if he can. But if it turns out like his injury is worse than he thinks, or if he doesn't think he's in Yusho contention, he's going to just step away.
So you think maybe test out the waters first couple of days, see how it goes? Mm-hmm. That's probably where I would lean towards as well. What about you, Jake? You think he participates?
That's I'm just gonna piggyback off that. I think that's the most likely scenario. He might as well give it a try. And I mean, he does get some of his easier matchups towards the beginning of the Basho, so maybe he'll go for it.
Yeah, we'll have a better idea during the midway about how we think if he's going to stick it out or not.
but we've been duped before. Two tournaments ago,
plenty.
he was looking awesome, got to 11 wins, and then dropped.
Well,
10
that was
wins.
an injury that happened during the Basho, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think it kind of aggravated because we
Oh,
knew he
okay.
was coming in with like some knee issues.
It was his knee.
And then he banged his knee on the ground, I think, in his match against Hokuto Fuji or twisted it. And then he kept fighting, but then eventually the pain just got too much. He lost
Had to
3
drain
straight.
fluids out of his knee, and then he just he
lost-
left after that.
Yeah, he lost 3 straight and then pulled out with 2 days to
So
go.
that's what's kind of reinforcing my belief that, like, no, if you're going to re-injure this thing, you could cause much more pain and then maybe sit out even longer. So that was, I'm assuming that he's going to be a little smarter on this one and say, no, I know this is important to him, but no.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
All right, let's move on to Takakeisho and his first Basho as an Ozeki. How will Takakeisho do in his first Basho as Ozeki? We have heard that he hasn't been able to train as much as he would like due to the responsibilities of being promoted to Ozeki. You have like a lot of press things that you have to do and photo ops. And
Go to a
stuff
lot
like
of parties and
eat a lot of food.
Yeah. Eat a lot of food, like even more food.
Even more food, yeah.
It's tough to say. I feel like I read some kind of training report where he was going against some Juryo and like Makushita level Rikshi, and he was like going even. So that's kind of worrying.
Ugh.
But I don't know. He got to Ozeki, so I think he's going to do pretty well.
I think I know what you read. I saw a Chris Gould video.
Ooh.
He was doing some training with his stablemates, I believe Taka Genji and another Taka.
Another Taka.
I want to say Takanosho, but I don't think that's correct.
There are a lot of Takas.
There's a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
Takas.
fair.
But he was doing training with them, and he was doing like his standard pushing thrusting sumo and did really well against them. And both Taka Genji and this other guy are in Juryo or Makushita.
Yeah, which is still very impressive. They're
Yeah.
still very good Rikshi.
But he was doing his pushing thrusting and did really well against them. But then he wanted to try to work on his Mawashi game, and that's when he started like
Oh,
being
no.
really even
No.
with them. So yeah,
Takakeisha doesn't do that.
no.
That makes a little bit more sense.
The Mawashi being the belt that the Dikshi wear, and so a lot of times that is used for strategy of eliminating a person in his sumo match.
And to continue on that, Takakeisha is kind of very much a poster boy of being a pusher thruster. Oishi sumo, I believe, is his style. So, but like I said, to answer to that, like I guess that's kind of a worrying report. But he's still coming off like a huge peak of his career. He just got, I think, more. Like the criteria is 33 wins over 3 Bashos to get promoted to Ozeki. He over 4 Bashos, I think he hit that an Ozeki level performance. So I still think he's in very, very good shape, and he's really good. He's good shape in his career. I think he's out. I think it's silly to expect something less than that.
I'm saying he'll get the minimum needed to. He'll get his Kachikoshi.
8-7.
Everything will be fine. But I think it's going to be a little shaky. I mean, just in his performance, I think this is still kind of a new role for him. Still got the jitters, like he said, hasn't been able to practice as much. And I think it's going to be one of those where, yes, his Oshisumo is impressive, but you can still learn around that. It's working. Not going to deny that. But you have to have more in your bag of tricks than just Oshisumo.
Do you think this is the point where he tries to diversify his style?
At this point, no. I think he needs to try and identify the weaknesses in his style. So I think he's going to find those now that he's going to be facing...
The same guys that he has been facing.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like, well, the new guy's like, well, no, not really new, but...
Yeah, he got the Ozeki camel off his back. I
that's
think
true.
that's the correct phrase, right?
I don't know. It sounded like an idiom. It sounded like something Ryan's dad would say.
Yeah.
Eh.
There you go.
If the dog didn't stop to crap, he would have caught the rabbit.
Yep.
Yep.
Thanks,
no,
Mr.
Words
Ryan.
of wisdom from Mr.
Yeah.
Ryan.
But at this point, he's I guess he's shooting for Yokozuna. So I guess like maybe he's like just saying like I'm willing to take some more losses now than I did before to try to become a better Rikshi in the future.
I mean, if he wants to spend a Basho work just trying to go for the Mawashi, he has that cushion where he could be...
A one basho cushion.
That is
I mean,
true.
he could be...
That's true.
If it doesn't work out for him, he could be Kadoban, which means if you're an Ozeki, you have a losing record. You have a chance to get a winning record in the next Basho to maintain your rank. He could do that. I don't think he would. I think he working on the Mawashi game in practice and then getting it to a better form and then unleashing it in a basho is where he'll go. But if he wants to just go all out Mawashi for an entire basho, he has a little bit of a safety net to try that if it doesn't work out for him.
That could go really bad.
I would love to see that.
That would actually be awesome. I would love to see just like every once in a while Ozeki or Yokozuna just try an entire basho with a weakness in their game and just see how it goes.
Just
Well,
see
not
how
a
well
Yokozuna, because if it goes really bad for them, they got to retire.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, they can just like go back to the bread and butter then, and they just need like as long as they won like one Yusho a year, they're probably okay.
Ishiura seems like the kind of guy that would experiment with that, and if he got to Ozeki, I bet he would try one basho with 15 henkas just to see if
He'd try one basho with no hankas?
You're right. That would be more unexpected.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, that'd be funny.
I would love for Yokozuna just to henka entire tournament. That'd be great.
Don't know how many reprimands he would get for that, but it would be
15.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would make the worst Yokozuna because I would do all that stuff all the time.
All right, Jake, how do we think Takakeisho performs?
I'm pretty optimistic. Other than one basho where he was injured and he dropped down to Megashira 10, he's basically spent the last 2 full years facing these same guys up at the top. He's only ever had out of 29 basho that he has participated in, only 5 times ever has he had a losing record, and only once has he had a losing record twice in a row, and that was that injury I mentioned that happened at the beginning of 2018. So he's been facing these top guys for quite a while and been doing very well. I'm optimistic that with that one basho cushion where he can have a losing record without losing his rank, I think he can stick around for a long time. He's proven that he is a bit of a one-trick pony, but that one trick is pretty freaking awesome, and it's doing wonders for him so far.
All right, so you mentioned that you think he can stick around as an Ozeki for a long time. Did a little bit of number crunching, and it looks like about 20 basho as an Ozeki is the average length of time that Rikshi...
Like 5 years? Or right, no, that's
Just over 3.
just over 3. Okay.
Is the average length of time that a Rikshi has been Ozeki either before being demoted or promoted to Yokozuna. And this is, I think, like 57 some Ozeki since the 6 basho structure started in the late 1950s. So do we put the over-under... Do we take the over or under at 20 basho as Ozeki for Takakeisho before either being demoted or promoted to Yokozuna?
I think I'll stay on the optimism train. I think he can make it work. He's very young. He's proven that he's pretty healthy other than that one time that he got injured. He hasn't had a whole lot of setbacks in that regard. I'll stay optimistic, and I think that he'll be an Ozeki for quite a while. As far as the move up to Yokozuna, I don't know enough about his style or sumo in general to take a hard stand there, but I do think that he's got the longevity that he could stay at that high level for that long.
I will take a hard stand on this. I'm going to go under.
Yeah.
He's proven himself. He's a top 5 Rikshi. We're going to get some turnover with probably both Yokozuna before 3 years. I'm thinking they won't be sticking around for 3 more years. And so I think...
Going up or down, you mean?
The Yokozuna are going to go down off the Banzuke.
But Takakeisho, you think he'll be under 20 basho as Yokozuna because he'll be promoted or because he'll be demoted?
Because he's going to be promoted.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the top talent is going to be more top talent is going to be going away these next couple years, and I think he's going to be one to Rikshi to fill the gap.
That's a good point. Goedo, Takayasu, Tochinoshin, the other big 3 guys just under that Yokozuna rank are also,
Goedo's like 32,
30, yeah.
Tochi is 31. I think Takayasu's 29.
Okay.
But still, that's older for a Rikshi.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm siding with you, Fleck. I think it's going to be under 20 basho, and could definitely see Takakeisho going up to the level of Yokozuna, but like I said, got to get more in that bag of tricks.
Yeah, it also wouldn't be super shocking for him to get figured out at some point and, just have a middling Megashira career since then.
I'm sorry.
Got something in your throat there, Mac?
No.
Is it buyer's remorse for your previous optimism? Is that what's stuck in there?
No.
I think I side more with Jake. I'm going to go with over the 20 as Ozeki. Not saying he might not eventually make it up to Yokozuna.
Well, that is what you're saying. Well, I guess more than 3 years.
I mean, he can make it to Yokozuna after 21 basho.
Okay.
So,
fair.
but no,
It's an accurate statement. Continue.
Got him.
Crap.
I cannot do math today.
It's okay, Flick.
I think this is going to be a guy that sprinkles a few Yusho throughout his career, like one every 2 or 3 years, something like that. I definitely think he has more Yusho coming up in his career, but I do think with his sumo being so focused on just one area, on the pushing and thrusting, I do think he probably needs to diversify that, and I think he recognizes that as well. So if he can improve his Mawashi game, maybe it's going to take him 21 Basho to prove his Mawashi game enough.
It's going
to be promoted to Yokozuna. I mean, he has short arms. He has a lot to make up.
Okay,
for.
fair
Have you
point.
seen his belly and his arms? I don't think he's
His
gonna
arms
be doing,
don't reach past the belly.
I don't think he's going to be doing much with that Mawashi
No.
anytime soon.
unless Ishiura and Enho like start a trend of little guys where he can more easily reach their belt.
Yeah, Hakuho is going to bring up a generation of just tiny.
I just got an Ura flashback.
Actually, I don't think that's true. I saw something about his newest Uchideshi, I think it's called, and the dude is gigantic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the opposite trend could hold true, where maybe Ishiura and Enho and these other little guys see that Takakeisho's ginormous gut keeps other people far enough away they can't grab your belt.
Ooh.
It's working for Chiyomaru.
I don't know about that.
Well, it's going to work.
We're going to see tiny rickshaw with just huge bellies.
Bowling balls.
All right. Do we have any more thoughts on Takakeisho? I think this is definitely, all jokes aside, one of our favorite guys on this podcast. We're all hoping he does really well. I really don't see him doing much worse than like 10-9 wins, like as long as he's healthy.
Well,
obviously he'll do better in some, but I think that's kind of his floor right now is 10-9 wins per Basho.
As an unbiased journalist, I think he's going to go undefeated.
When have you ever journaled?
I don't know. I read a lot of Wikipedia for our bonus episodes.
He had a live journal back in the day.
There you go. All right, let's move on to another podcast favorite, our original Ozeki run that we followed. That would be Tochinoshin. And unfortunately, his run as Ozeki has ended after, I believe, only 5 Basho.
As an unbiased journalist, Tochinoshin is dead to me, and he's gone forever.
What?
Whoa.
That's
No,
unfortunate.
Why?
That's a hot take right there.
No, not really. I'm just saying that like my baseball hat with Takakeisho's logo on the front and the Tochinoshin logo on the back is firmly in that position right now. I'll turn it around at the midway if I need to, but
But no, Tochinoshin was Ozeki after a very impressive run at the beginning of last year. But unfortunately, he fell victim to the Tamawashi Kotanage of Doom, injuring him after a 5-0 start in his first Basho as Ozeki. Since then, he really hasn't been the same. And unfortunately, he had 2 straight Basho with a losing record as he didn't win a single match at Hatsu and lost his final match against Takakeisho at Haru to seal his Makekoshi, or losing record, in the last Basho, which means he has been demoted to Sekewake. There is a shimmer of hope where he can get 10 wins in this Basho, and he will automatically be returned to the rank of Ozeki. And so I ask all of you the simple question, will it be Ozeki Tochinoshin at the Nagoya Basho in July?
I don't think so. I think it's a pretty high bar to clear, and health has always been Tochinoshin's biggest enemy. Until I see otherwise, my gut is telling me that he's probably not healthy, and 10 wins is tough at the top of the Bansuke there.
Just a quick note, it does seem like he has been doing really well on the Jungyo tour. He's looked a lot more like his previous self, that he's like gotten some more strength back.
He's been getting great nights of sleep, not being woken up by Chiyomaru.
It doesn't hurt. But
Different heias also help.
yeah, we can take that with a grain of salt as it is.
A handful of salt.
There you go.
boulder.
There you go.
Very clever.
We're coining that. We got to use that on the podcast.
But it is just Jungyo. It is just practice, so we don't really know. But it is a little glimmer of hope that maybe the Tochinoshin of the beginning of 2018 could be coming back.
Yeah. I really want it to happen.
Yeah.
That would
I
be
do too.
So do
fantastic.
I.
His match with Takakeisho, that was such an emotional match. I
That was
wanted
so hard.
Takakeisho to win, but I also wanted Tochinoshin to win. I'm like, This is gonna hurt.
If they could have just like met at the Tachi, hugged and cried for 10 minutes until they called it a draw, and then I don't think anybody would have gotten what they wanted actually. So
The Shinban would be like, come on. You're still in the ring. The Gyoji would be like, yeah, you're in.
that would have
Still
been a 9-5-1 for Takakeisho, probably not getting
Not
him
10
the
wins,
Ozeki
so no
promotion.
Ozeki.
wouldn't
That would
get
have
it.
been 7-7-1 for Tochi.
He didn't
So-
get 8 wins, so he's.
But it wasn't a losing
But it
record,
wasn't a
so
losing
maybe he
record.
would have stayed Ozeki. So maybe the hug
just
and
need-
cry in the middle of the dojo technique is not as foolproof as I thought.
He just needs to go for two draws, and then he'll be good to go. Because then it'll be like a 7,
7, 6, and 2?
6 and 2, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be the one.
There we go.
Yeah, why didn't
Yeah.
he do that?
We should,
Why didn't he think of, we need to write him a letter?
yeah. No, we should get to Japan and be his coach.
There we go.
We can get this for him.
Dearest Tochinoshin.
Sweet, adorable baby infant Tochinoshi.
You should go for more ties, even
Sweet
though they don't have them
3
anymore.
foot, 50-pound baby Tochinoshin.
But all right, to wrangle this back, I think
I think we can move on.
Now, I mostly agree with Jake. Injuries are tough, and it sounds like maybe he's doing better, but until I see otherwise, I think it's going to be tough to get 10 wins at the top.
Likewise, I hate to say this. I want him to come back, but he's just been plagued with injuries for a really long time. And in the last one, he was fighting an infection, which
Yeah.
it was affecting his glutes.
He had all the what are Band-Aids called? Band-Aids.
Very good. Right?
He had all like the Band-Aids on his butt,
yes.
like for the entire Basho. I think he's like getting injections or something like that. But yeah, I don't know if that's gone. But there were a lot of people battling the flu. Was it the last Basho? Or was it the Basho before that? Was it Hatsu?
I don't know. I remember that it was going around. Like,
Yeah.
Takayasu had it bad one basho.
I think that was Hatsu, actually. But yeah. I guess I'm the only guy that thinks Tochinoshin can do it. I am encouraged by the Jungyo reports on his returning strength. I haven't heard about any last-minute injuries that he seems to get in the week prior to the Basho yet. Then again, it is a week until the
I was about
Basho
to
as
say,
we record
Ryan,
this. So
you're setting yourself up here. It's a week before.
I know, but I have hope. I have a small amount of evidence on my side. So I'm going with Tochinoshin 10-5, Ozeki at Nagoya.
Okay. Does he beat anyone above him in rank?
He drops Takayasu and Goedo. I think Goedo is looking pretty good right now.
Wait.
Who are
Hold
you?
the
One more
hell
time.
on.
I've only crapped on Goedo because he deserved it. Right now, I can't, in good conscience, crap on Goedo as
That
much
has
as I would
never
like to.
stopped you
Yeah.
before.
Exactly.
Don't worry about it. I'm a little worried about
You're,
it.
Yeah,
you're an
we're-
imposter.
If this is what tired Ryan is like, this is really scary.
His true feelings come out. Like, guys, this Goedo guy is really good.
you don't even know.
But no, I think Goedo, Takayasu take him out. I think he has a good shot against Takakeisho. I think Hakuho is either too hurt and loses to Tochi, or Hakuho just isn't there.
Yeah.
Like by the time he would face Tochinoshin, Hakuho will have pulled out. And I don't know what to expect out of Kakuryu at this point to really say that he has a full advantage over Tochinoshin. So I think he
Yeah.
can pull off a couple of wins over guys above him.
I think he did some training with Chirotaru and
Kakuryu.
Kakuryu, yeah. Yeah, and he didn't win all his matches.
He didn't win?
I think that's a worrying trend, yeah. I think he won like lost one or two. But
Yeah.
then he won everything else.
Could this be another Nokozuna Basho?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think there's been any signs of Kakuryu being injured. He's performed like matches throughout the whole Jungyo. He's doing practice matches now, so I think all signs point to Kakuryu participating. Just for a little bit of history, only 5 Ozeki that have fallen to the Sekiwake rank since the 6 Basho structure began have gotten the 10 wins. Actually, that's false. 4 Ozeki have done it. 1 has done it twice.
Oh, okay.
cool.
So Mie Nohumi in 1976 got a 10-5 record, returned to Ozeki. Taka Nonami in 2000 had had dropped to Sekiwake, got 10-5, returned to Ozeki. In the same year, 2000, Musoyama also fell to Sekiwake, got a 10-5 record. And then a guy that we're going to go into more detail on during Fun Facts, but Tochi Azuma in 2004 dropped down to Sekiwake, got a 10-5 record. And then again in 2005, dropped down to Sekiwake, got an 11-4 record, and returned to Ozeki.
He broke the curse that everyone gets exactly 10.
But I am officially predicting exactly 10 for the Georgian Bear, Tochinoshin. But let's move on, Fleric, to the aforementioned Kakuryu. Hasn't really been performing up to Yokozuna level the past couple of Basho.
All right,
He got his Yokozuna Kachikoshi last time, but that's only 10-5.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you pull up his stats so to see what. You might have a point here. Continue.
So,
Oh boy.
are we going to see Yokozuna Kakuryu in this Basho, or as many people have called him, Ozeki Kakuryu in this
Ozeki
Basho?
Kakuryu.
Harsh.
Do they know what his rank is?
Only illiterate people call him that. I think just like anytime we go into a Basho without a ton of news on Kakuryu, I'm going to take a hard stance here and predict that he gets between 3 and 15 wins. To me, he's one of the guys that is the hardest to predict. He's just not a guy whose name is in the news a ton. He gets overshadowed by Hakuho and the Yokozuna news and
All the Ozeki runs that have been happening
all the Ozeki
recently.
runs and things like that. And yeah, unless we hear some breaking news about like his leg falling off or something, it's just so difficult for me to get a handle on where I think he's going to be.
Yeah, I think he comes across as kind of naturally humble, so I don't think he really kind of talks himself up or says what's going on. And so I think that's kind of part of the reason we don't get too much news about that.
Yeah, even during his back-to-back Yusho wins last year, he was completely overshadowed by Tochinoshin's Ozeki run, and that's what everybody was talking more than Kakuryu winning back-to-back tournaments.
Yeah, he was the better Rikishi of being the humble warrior than everyone. Like we weren't even paying attention to him at all. But no, I guess to answer your question, I entirely agree with Jake. It's kind of tough without too much news about him, but it seems like. Well, you said whether or not he's going to get 10 or whether he's going to Yusho.
I would say Yokozuna Kakuryu is 13-2 or above. Ozeki Kakuryu is anything below 12.
Yeah.
We'll say 12-3 for Yokozuna Kakuryu, 11 and below for Ozeki Kakuryu.
Yeah.
Is everyone who calls him Ozeki Kakuryu taking notes here? I hope so.
Yeah. I guess I got some history with Kakuryu being his supporter. So, with no good information to go on, I'm going to say we're going to see some Yokozuna Kakuryu, 13-2 plus. I guess.
You poor man.
Oh.
You do not know what is coming.
Are we enemies now?
No, we just don't know what's coming.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm going to take a safer route here. At least I hope it's a safer route in saying Ozeki Kakuryu is going to show up. I think he'll get 10 or 11, and that'll be it.
You're dead to me.
Well,
Was I ever alive to you?
Yeah.
I will also join the ranks of dead to Fleric because I think we're looking at 11-4 for Kakuryu. So all that being said, congratulations Kakuryu on the Natsu Basho victory.
That's usually how it goes.
All right. I love asking this question. So who does he lose to? You don't have to do 4, but give me 2.
Hakuho?
Takakeisho,
Ichinojo.
Tochinoshin.
Takakeisho, Tochinoshin.
I think those two have good recent history against Kakuryu.
I do love the Tochinoshin Kakuryu matchup. There's some good history there.
Yeah.
So I think that could go either way. I agree.
I'm glad we all glossed over my idiot knee-jerk reaction of Ichinojo.
It depends if he's awake or not.
We'll get to
Jake.
Ichinojo.
We'll get to him, yeah.
But let's move on down the Bansuke a little bit to Goeido. Like I said, just down the Bansuke a little bit, literally to the next rank.
Clever. I like this.
Well done.
Goeido, I think he's had 5 or 6 straight Basho with a winning record.
Are you complimenting him again?
So he's the best.
I'm stating facts about Goeido. He looked pretty good in the last Basho. He went 12-3. I think that was the third best in that Basho behind Ichinojo and Hakuho. Does Goeido kind of continue his impressive sumo into the Natsu Basho?
I'm hopeful. Yes. Hopefully the dragon has woken up or whatever on his Kesho Mawashi. I'm not sure which. But I'm hopeful that he can keep performing well and that I'm actually kind of banking on him in my prediction series.
Oh, really?
So we'll see.
Oh, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Maybe I should change some stuff up.
I think for me, Goeido's kind of one of those guys where you kind of hope that he's doing well enough to make the guys that you are more interested in look good. You know what I mean? Like if Goeido is healthy, it's like, oh yes, this is a good tournament where there's a good degree of difficulty, so the winner must be very impressive or something.
Yeah,
that's kind of the extent of what I think about Goeido going into tournaments. Mostly,
he's definitely not the protagonist. He's kind of the guy right before the final boss.
He's the mini boss. Yeah,
Okay, mini boss.
I
could get on board with
Ozeki,
that.
if you would.
yes. Yeah.
An Ozeki, you
The
say.
Ozeki before
Perhaps the Ozeki to Kakuryu's Yokozuna. We should coin that one too.
What about the other Ozeki we haven't talked about yet, Takayasu? Can he finally win a Yusho?
I got some training report stuff from him. Apparently, he went against ex-Kiseno Sato, currently Araizo, I believe is his
Araizo Oyakata?
He went 1-20 against him.
Oh,
Takayasu won 1 out of he
he beat a Yokozuna? My God.
A former Yokozuna.
a former Yokozuna who has been retired for, I think, 4 months now?
Yeah.
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 This is not so good.
So, yeah, Yusha.
Once again, take training reports with a handful of salt.
Nice.
Trademark.
But yeah, it is worth noting that when he's going against the former Kiseno Sato, they are guys that have been facing each other for like a decade.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it just goes to show that Kiseno Sato / Araizo was the better of those two because he's the one who's figured out his partner in training.
And also won a couple of Yusho and became a Yokozuna.
Also that, but whatever. Takayasu is still a few years younger than him, but yeah, I think that those training reports they're not super helpful for determining how Takayasu is going to do in this tournament, but I think they are fairly helpful in determining that he's got a lower ceiling than Kiseno Sato had.
I think Takayasu's history of never winning a Yusho is a pretty good predictive factor in predicting that. I'm not ever going to predict a Takayasu Yusho unless Goeido, all the Yokozuna are out.
Wow, Goeido before Takayasu.
I don't know what's happened to me.
What is wrong with you?
If Goeido's still in there, he's going to win it.
Picture, if you will, Ryan in elementary school, and there's the one girl that he keeps yanking on her pigtails because he secretly got a crush. And then that girl turns around and it's Goeido.
So, one, that's horrifying.
Of
Two,
No, his hair's probably long enough for pigtails.
I will be legitimately upset if we ever have to cover a Goeido Yusho. Just
you
because
say that now, but wait, it might
I've
happen.
staked so much of my reputation on saying that Goeido is a bag of garbage in Ozeki form.
Yeah, but what is your reputation, really?
It's not good. I can tell you that.
Okay, we're in agreement here. Continue.
I'm just saying I'm not going to believe it from Takayasu until I've seen it. He's had too many opportunities recently where he was pretty much the top guy with no Yokozuna, and he let people like Mitakayumi or Takakeisho take the Yusho when they should have been his for the taking. I think maybe pressure gets to him. I think he drops too many matches to lower ranked Rikchi that he shouldn't be dropping. So can he put it all together to win a Yusho? Obviously, yes. I just don't see it happening anytime soon right now because I think we already would have seen it.
I agree with you, too. Like the current crop of Rikshi and how they're seeming health-wise, I think it's kind of silly to expect something different.
Mm-hmm. How about Ichinojo kind of shocking the world and going 14-1 in the last Basho? He is now Sekiwake again, where he spent the majority of last year. Will he be awake or will he be asleep for this Basho?
My mind's on sleep.
Mine too.
He's achieved his former rank, which he held for so long while being in a daze. So, yeah, I think he's going to go back to the daze, sleepy.
He just wants to be Sekiwake, and then he's good.
Could be it. Maybe he just wants to be in the Sanyaku ranks, and he got just a little bit too tired and dropped out, and then that fully woke him up as he was fully rested. But,
oh, crap. I got to go back.
Yeah.
Jake, what about you?
I'm not super optimistic. I'll call it an 8-7 to a 9-6. I think that he's proven that he can do that. But he could have some momentum coming off this 14-1. But the 14-1 is definitely an outlier. He hasn't had a record better than 10 since the beginning of 2017, where he was at the bottom of the division. Before that, I mean, when he very first debuted, he crushed his way all the way to Sekiwake and then just became mediocre for the next 5 years.
Well, you say he crushed his way all the way to Sekiwake. That was literally one basho.
He went 11-4 in Juryo, 13-2 in Juryo, 13-2 in Makuuchi, and then he was Sekiwake.
Yeah.
And after that, he didn't get 10 wins again for another year and a half. And yeah, so I think it's just whenever he is in the Joy, he's not going to get better than 9 wins. I just don't. I think that he will get close to that. I think he'll get his Kachikoshi, but I don't think he'll do better than that.
I mean, we did see kind of a change in strategy for Ichinojo in the last basho, so maybe that. Well,
that and the Hitaki Komi.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
the Hitaki Komi.
slapping
Yeah.
him down like crazy.
not letting himself get to the end of the Tawara where he can be pushed out, because it seems like he always gives up. We assume it's because he's afraid of falling off and possibly getting injured. So changing his strategy, get the real quick Hitaki Komi so he's not in that position. So maybe that allows him to perform better, but he's going to be going up against all the top guys this time, so I doubt that it's going to work as well as it did against the competition he was going up against last time.
To be fair, he did face all 3 Ozeki, and let's see, only one of the Sekiwake last time. So it's not like he's adding too many guys that are top ranked that he didn't fight last time. But I mean, it's a strategy that was a noted departure from his previous strategy. And when that kind of thing happens, I don't think it'll be too long before somebody will come up with a counter to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move from the biggest boy to either the second or third biggest boy. I'm not sure who's bigger, him or Kaisei. But Aoyama is back in the Sanyaku ranks. What do we expect out of him?
Scrub.
Not
back
very
down.
much.
He's been Sekiwake before, but he has not made it stick.
Yeah, I think he usually gets knocked down from the Joy when he comes up here. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. If he might be on tear, but
Yeah, it was the beginning of 2015, the last time that he was in the Sanyaku ranks.
I think this is my favorite conversation we've ever had about Aoyama, and I will move on as I have nothing more
Oh, no,
to add to
I
that.
didn't get to my pick, though.
yeah.
I'm going to go with 14 wins. No, I think it'll be. He's definitely a high caliber wrestler, but I don't think he's that high caliber. I would guess 6 to 7 wins, something like that.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, real quick on Mitakeyumi, winning record or out of Sanyaku for the first time in 15 bashos in Nagoya?
Winning record. The boy's going to get his act together. I don't know how, but he's going to do it.
Yeah, he was definitely battling injury, I believe, last basho, and he still got 7 and 8, which I think is stupidly impressive. He's obviously a talent. He's still very young. I think he's going to probably get another winning record and back to Sekiwake coming this one.
Yep, I'm with you there. I think he's going to be back to his top form of 8 or 9 wins.
Well,
the minimum.
Top form 13-2 Yusho. Can't
That's fair.
take that away from him. But I'm with you guys.
You can put some asterisks like Yokozuna were gone. Everyone was kind of sick.
The hollow victories.
Yeah. No. I just kid. I just kid.
It was a joke, but what you just did was the same thing that we were talking about at the beginning, where it sucks that we have to make all these caveats when the next generation guys are doing well.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it a forfer. I think Mitakeyumi is back to his form of 9 and 6 and will be Sekiwake in the next basho. Well, if he's Sekiwake, that means somebody is dropping
Or promoting.
Or promoting.
or promoted. Okay, boom. I am back in on Sekiwake Mitakeyumi. And then Tamawashi did real bad after
Technical term.
No better way you
Yeah.
can say that.
Sumo vocab right there.
After winning the Yusho and Hatsu, so what version of Tamawashi are we expecting in Natsu?
The version that showed up in every one of his ever performances, but like 2. He
So
had
hot garbage.
No, not hot garbage, but like middling, I think.
More
so he's
Kotanage of death.
in 2017 he had an 11-4, and then in January he had a 13-2. Those are the only times that he's won more than 10 matches. Looks like ever. Oh my god!
Yeah. What years were those? Just out of curiosity, how much space between those two?
Between those two, about a year.
About a year. Okay. So
Oh yeah, so we're not due for that cycle to come back yet.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Wait until Hatsu 2020.
You just wait.
he's a career rickshaw. He spaces out his effort.
He's also a guy that we would kind of expect to be aging out pretty quick. He's 34.
Oh.
Yeah, I expect he's been kind of bouncing back and forth between good performances and bad performances recently, so I kind of expect him 9-6-ish this Basho.
Oh. Okay.
But I don't think he's going to go like 5-10 again like he did in the last one. Is there anybody else, any other Rikishi that people want to make a note of before we move on?
I just went to check on the dogs, and Bubbles showed an impressive Tachi against a door. The dogs were chasing each other up and down the hallway, and I should probably go check on that hinge.
You should probably get carpet in your hallway so your dogs aren't sliding all over the place.
No, this is fine.
I guess of the rickshaw left over, I just really want Onosho to kind of show better form than he has been.
Yeah.
Abi, you got to learn,
Really
buddy.
good. I love Ryuden. He's had a really good basho last time. I hope he can show it again. I would love for him to get to the Sanyaki at least once.
Yeah, going back to Onosho, I would really love for him to do well so that he can get up and continue the rivalry with Takakeisho.
Yes.
That was Bubbles.
Yeah.
Her head hurts.
I love storylines the most, and like those two like facing off against each other is the best.
If that became like a storied rivalry with both guys near the top, that'd be awesome.
Oh.
Hokuto Fuji is back where he wanted to be, and Kinboshi taking place as Maegashira 1.
He's gonna farm those Kimboshis.
He is. So I'm excited to see what Hokuto Fuji can do for there. Hopefully get back into the Sanyaku ranks. And then obviously, I want to see how well Inoho does. I'm interested to see how Shimano Umi does, see if he can keep up with his current streak of impressive records. And Tomokaze, see if he can continue his streak of never having a losing record.
That's a really
as
good point.
He climbs the ranks of Makuuchi.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hit on a couple of news items real quick before we go to our break. We had the Hakuho Sanbon Jime thing that happened where
What's a Sanbon Jime?
it is a traditional clap that is done at the end of Japanese events, and that it's usually done by the organizer of the event. And so Hakuho led this Sonbon Jime to kind of signify the end of the Heisei era, and he did it on the dohyo during his speech after he won the Yusho. But it was neither the end of the ceremony for the Basho, nor was he the organizer of the Basho, so it wasn't really his place to lead the ceremonial clap.
People got mad.
Old people got mad. Young people are like, calm down, old people.
It seems like a very Japanese story.
Yeah.
Yeah, people in America do not care. Well, these people in America.
Yeah. but the old people are in charge.
Yeah, at least 4 out of 300 million don't see that this is a big deal.
He led the whole stadium in a clap after winning a tournament. I think that's pretty badass.
I think I saw in a Chris Gould video that like one of the people punishing him was like participating in the clap or something similar to that.
We don't have the cultural background, but it does seem kind of silly as a big story.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, Hakuho went 15-0 is not a huge headline grabber.
Yeah.
So.
But he was reprimanded for this. He was cited for breaking the violating on dohyo manners or harming the traditions or laws of the way of sumo rule. So he was given a reprimand, and his Oyakata, Miyagino Oyakata, was given a 10% salary reduction for 3 months. And there's some speculation that there was some bonsai thing with Hakuho last year, and so people are saying Miyagino Oyakata is getting the salary reduction because he didn't reel in Hakuho enough after the bonsai thing.
Oh.
I don't know exactly what the bonsai thing is and what all came of that, but
Yeah,
it's kind of Hakuho's
Hakuho is too big for
second,
his britches.
yeah,
is what
third
they're
or
getting at.
fourth.
yeah, they're just anti-fun, it sounds like.
Yeah. So that happened. Also, in other Hakuho off the dohyo related news, he renounced his Mongolian citizenship. That does not mean that he hates Mongolia as much as it sounds like. It is actually a sign that he may be getting closer to retirement because Hakuho has made it known that he would like to join the Japanese Sumo Association. And in order to do that, you have to be a Japanese citizen. And typically, Japan does not allow dual citizenship, so he would need to renounce his Mongolian citizenship in order to become a Japanese citizen, in order to join the Japan Sumo Association, in order to become an Oyakata and lead his own stable.
I know for sure Akebono did that too. To stay in the sumo world.
Yes. A lot of people think that he was putting off renouncing his Mongolian citizenship. A lot of it was due to his father, who passed last year, I believe.
Yes, yeah. I think there's a lot of people thinking he wanted to keep his make a decision until after, I guess his father was no longer still around, or that just kind of made this decision happen a little sooner.
Yeah. There's also people that saying there's a lot of patriotic pride with Mongolians, and so they don't really want to renounce their citizenship until kind of they have to, and so this is really more of a sign that Hakuho is seeing retirement in the near future for him.
And he's planning to stay in Japan, opposed to go back to Mongolia, like
Yes.
Harumu Fuji and Asashoryu, former Yokozuna, did.
Yep. And our last item of note is Donald Trump may show up on the last day. And with that, we will take a quick break.
All right. Introducing Now That's What I Call Sumo, Volume 306.
With the biggest hits of the year,
From literally the biggest artists.
featuring songs by
They're Definitely Giants.
Ichi no Joe Doubt,
Taka Kesha.
Goodbye and Roses,
Rage Against the Mawashi.
Panic at the Dohyo,
Boys to Mendo.
Yagugu Dolls.
And Maysay Elliott.
Now That's What I Call Sumo, Volume 306.
Bringing you all the hits from the year in a compact 28 cassette set.
Also featuring such hits as
Abbey Road.
Should I Stay or Should I Go?
Dohyo Really Want to Hurt Me.
Suke Bito, Better Have My Money.
And My Shikona.
Now That's What I Call Sumo, Volume 306.
With songs so good they'll make you want to kotenage your radio.
And who could forget such classics as
The Notorious ABI. Ready to Tachi-ai.
Kasugano Go My Way by Tochi Kravitz,
Abi B Top. Legs.
Chanko Wanko, I Get Hataki Komi,
Oasis's Some May Say.
The Ono Show Must Go On by Queen,
Guns N' Roses Live and Let Show Die.
and Weezer, Kaisei It Ain't So.
Available at Scotty Karate's bootleg CD stands near you or wherever you get your made-up music. Songs provided by but not limited to at Tachi-ai Blog, at Maroon Rules, at Din64, at Tekisasu Kenshi, at Ann Hilton 4, at Alan R. McLeod, at Dizzykins, at JBrewitt167, at Takagaijin, at KC Mustang, at Quanta Things, and at Our Man in Japan.
Call this number now to receive Now That's What I Call Sumo, Volume 306. 805-613-7866. That's 805-613-SUMO. All right, welcome back. In an effort to minimize any Donald Trump conversation as much as possible, we missed the Jurio and lower division storylines, so we're just going to...
A noble cause, to be fair.
So we are just going to rattle some things off that you should look out for real quick. We really don't know what to focus on in Jurio now that Chiyomaru and Enho are out of Jurio, so we're going to throw our hat behind Wakataka Kage.
I guess you are. I think the big storyline there is we have three mainstays: Ikioi, Chuno Kuni, and
Yutakiyama.
Yutakiyama.
Yep.
So people who have proved they're really, really good, but they had a string of some bad boss shows. I think those are probably the favorites to be looking at in Jurio.
I can't disagree with that. You need to watch out see how Terunofuji does in Sandanme.
Former Ozeki Terunofuji.
Former Ozeki. He went 7-0 in Jonokuchi in the last Basho. No, Jonidan. Jonidan is the second to last one. So he was in Jonidan last time. He went 7-0, but he didn't really look great doing it and lost to Roga in the playoff for the Yusho for that. Speaking of Roga, got to watch him. He is undefeated in his career. He is also in Sandanme. See if he can push it to 21-0 in his career.
So he's at 14-0 right now?
He's at 14-0 with an additional match for that playoff win over Terunofuji.
Ooh. Exciting.
That still counts, right?
Not officially.
But yeah, that goes back to the last person to do that is now making his Makuuchi debut. That would be tiny infant baby Enho.
Exactly. And one of our favorites in Makushita, Hoshoryu, is at Makushita 4. So I expect a 5-2 or better. We'll see him in Juryo for the Nagoya Basho.
Hoshoryu, a guy we've been keeping an eye on because he is the nephew of former Yokozuna Asashoryu.
Yes, and we would really like to see Hoshoryu in Juryo for the Nagoya Basho, as we will be in Japan for the Nagoya Basho, and we'll be spending a day at the arena in Nagoya for a day of sumo, and would be really nice to see him instead of gambling that's one of the days he's performing in Makushita.
Oh yeah, if he's in Makushita, we got like a 50% chance of it happening.
Yep. And then our other favorites in the lower divisions, Naya is at a career high of Makushita 22, Musashi Kuni is at Makushita 49, and Waki Ichiro drops back down to Jonidan, and he is at Jonidan 19. All right, now the reason everybody tunes in to this podcast, it is time for the Grand Sumo Breakdown Prediction Series. To recap, last time I lost. Everybody else tied for the win. So we did a quick die roll to determine the order of picks, and Flerick won the die roll, so he gets a second pick, followed by
good
Jake,
old 19, yeah.
followed by Mac. So I don't think we need to talk about it anymore. Let's get into
I think
some
we should
picks.
say the rules and the categories we have.
Fine, we should talk about it a little bit more. Pretty much, there are 6 categories: Yusho, Jun Yusho, special prizes, Kimboshi, Kachikoshi, and Makekoshi. We each choose one Rikishi that we think will achieve those marks, and we will get 1 point for each one that we get correct. You cannot repeat a choice in a round, so if I select Hakuho to win the Yusho, nobody else can select Hakuho to win the Yusho. But if Mac wanted to select Hakuho to win the Jun Yusho, that is okay. He can select him for that category, but once again, nobody could select Hakuho for that category. Are you satisfied,
I
Flair?
feel better.
All right.
I'm happy.
Let's move on to the Yusho selection, and because I lost,
Loser, why don't you go first?
I get to go first. And
Is he supposed to be calling us all Yokozuna this episode? Or is
No, I
that
think-
no, that was the punishment. Nice try.
I think that only stood for the previous one.
almost?
I hate myself.
Oh, God, is he going to do it?
Uh-huh.
Is he going to do it?
Goedo.
For Yusho?
I don't believe
For
in Kakuryu. I'm worried about Hakuho's arm. You know my opinion about Takayasu.
But Ichinojo.
Hey.
All right, Flerick.
No, that's weird. I'm going Hakuho, you crazy bastard.
I just don't think that arm.
He was having people target it. Like they were like taking out like revolvers and like shooting
Baseball
right
bats.
into it. Yeah.
Bounced right off. You're right. How silly of me.
I'll take Kakuryu, please. That goes to Mac for the last pick for you, show.
I will go with Takakeisho.
All right.
Takakeisho.
And then Mac will have the first pick to choose a Jun Yusho winner.
I'm going Kakuryu on this one.
There we go.
Let's see. I will take Takayasu. He seems perfectly suited to the Junior show rank or award.
Yeah. I'm just going to keep it the same, I guess. Hakuho.
I will not keep it the same. Has anybody selected Takakeisho for the June?
Nope.
No.
Then I got Takakeisho Jun Yusho.
It is June. Wait, no, it's not.
No, it's May.
It's May.
All right. I get
You can do this.
I can't
first
do.
pick for special prizes, and I will say Shima Noumi keeps up his hot streak and will pick up a special prize in his Makuuchi debut.
All right. I'm going to go with Kota Shogiku. He is up there in the top ranks. He's going to show some good matches.
This is a really hard one, this Basho, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I got to either go against something I talked about in our discussion or just take a wild random guess. Let's go wild random guess.
Meisei.
Yago. Yago's shown that he can do that sometimes.
I'll go with a wild random guess and go Meisei.
Oh, all right.
It's half the fun, right?
All right.
No.
Yes.
It's only about winning.
All right.
It's
Matt
fun.
gets first pick on Kinboshi, and a Kinboshi is when a Maegashira defeats a Yokozuna, a gold star.
I am going with Mr. Endo over Kakuryu.
Remember, Jake, I will fight you.
Hokuto Fuji, and I'm going to go against Hakuho.
You will. I'm so mad right now.
Because if I'm right, you're happy, but that means that I'm right, and that makes you unhappy.
Exactly.
I'm going to go with Koto Shogiku versus Hakuho.
Flarik doubling up on the Kodo Shogiku. Mm-hmm. And I said this would be a bounce back for Tamawashi. So Tamawashi over Kakuryu.
Okay.
Because I don't know that Hakuho will be there. And that means I get first pick for a Kachikoshi under the rank of Maegashira 9.
Okay, good. 'Cause I was wondering if it under rank, so you can't include 8 at all.
If you're ranked 9 or worse,
Yeah.
yeah.
gotta
So
select
we're picking from the
Kachikoshi.
bottom half of the Megashira. Who's going to get a winning record?
And I am
Okay.
taking everybody's first pick, Oh No Show.
Dang.
I'm going to go with this is someone lower the Bonsuke who's going to do good, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go Chiyoshima.
Let's go with Ishiura. I think he's going to stick in the top division because a losing record would probably send him down to Juryo from Megashira 16.
Unless weird stuff happens again.
Yeah.
My boy's back. I got to go with my big baby boy, Chiyomaru.
There you
I'm
go.
surprised nobody went with Tomokaze.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, he's literally never had a losing record.
Yeah.
It only gets harder from here for him, though.
Exactly, yeah.
So he's up like one tier of competition.
Yeah.
I'll go with history at this rank over, I believe, unknown at this rank.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, Mac, who will have a Makekoshi or losing record at Maegashira 8 or above?
This one's going to hurt because we always joke with the man performing quite well and being of a Yokozuna's caliber, but Oyama, I'm sorry, buddy.
I had my eye on that one. Let's see. I probably should have had a second choice going into this one. I'm going to say Tamawashi. I think that even though he's dropping down, he's facing the same guys that he went 5-10 against last time.
Also the same guys that he went 13-2 against in Hatsu.
Yeah, but I forgot about that. So
Yeah, but...
Yeah, I just don't think Shodai is good at all.
Wow.
He's going to drop.
I was really hoping Flarik was going to hedge his bets and go Kodo Shogiku, so no matter what happened, he got something Kodo Shogiku.
Yeah, that would actually be really smart, but
yeah, that guy, that top 25
Shodai.
guy in the world, he's hot garbage.
I know.
So if Flarik isn't going to go Kodo Shogiku, I guess I will go Kodo Shogiku.
Takarafu. Oh,
Almost went Abi, but I think Kodo Shogiku. Because Abi's just outside of the Joy, so he's not going to be necessarily going up against the top guys. All right, so that means, once again, as the loser, I have to do all the hard work.
You mean you get the honor of drawing the
That
punishment?
is an honor, sir.
So
Just because you've done it, more times than anybody else. Mac has got to be the expert here.
That bull and I have history.
So, actually, before I do this, I'm going to hold the podcast hostage.
What?
I have a prepared written response due to the statements that I made during the Haru review episode. Flarik, do not mute me.
we'll see how this goes. When you say hold the podcast hostage,
All right.
Which mic is he, Flarik?
A prepared response to the statements made by me on the Haru review. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you are listening to this podcast. There were many statements made by myself on the Haru Review podcast that were either misleading, half-truths, or patently false. I would like to address the most egregious of these statements at this time.
oh, what's this muting thing that just happened right here? That's
Podcast
fair.
resumed.
Good Lord.
Yeah,
Do you feel vindicated now?
I feel much better, and I don't care if you guys
Yeah,
all
we don't.
hated that. I'm
It's
happy
okay.
now.
I have the
I worry
have
about our listeners.
I have my finger on the editing button.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, no. All right, the punishment has been chosen, and the punishment will be finally, after
It's
long
happened. It's happened.
awaited 11 bashos in the making, the loser must write an erotic PG-13 short story about the Rikshi of the winner's choice.
Last.
Oh, we've been
So
hoping
get
for that
ready
one.
for that.
We've been hoping for that one every single drawing.
As always, a couple of days before the Basho, we will put out our bold predictions thread on Twitter. So look out for that and send us your predictions. If you hit it right, we will mention you on our recap episode. But I will now turn it over to Jake for some fun facts.
So we did a bonus episode on the recently deceased former Yokozuna Futa Haguro. And some of the stuff I dug up in that was that like there's a whole bunch of random storylines that all, they all connect by the same Heya. And I thought that was kind of weird. So like Futa Haguro and the previous two Yokozuna whose name that he borrowed from, Futabayama and Haguro-yama, they're obviously from the same stable, but we also have Hoshoryu in that same Tatsunami Beya. And another fun fact favorite, Hanakaze, the near 50-year-old longest ever active sumo wrestler, is also in Tatsunami. Hanakaze, by the way, has been wrestling longer, or he made his debut before the current stable master made their debut in sumo wrestling.
Well, when you wrestle like 15 years past when most people would retire.
Yeah, exactly. He's never made it up to Makushita, but apparently he loves the sumo life, and I mean it's kind of a strange record, but it's still an impressive one to continue performing at a professional level. But Ryan, you had a little bit more on the aforementioned Tochi Azuma.
Yeah, so I was looking into the circumstances of him dropping to Sekiwake twice and then regaining the Ozeki rank immediately afterwards, and just kind of found it interesting. So let me tell you a story about three-time Ozeki Tochi Azuma.
Weave us a tale.
He has won a Yusho in every single division. He's the first guy that I've seen that has done that. I'm not saying he's the only guy, but just doing research on a bunch of different people. He's the only guy I've seen.
He's the only guy per half-assed research.
Yeah,
Okay.
that has a Yusho in all 6 divisions. He won his first Makuuchi Yusho in his first Basho as an Ozeki. He then became injured 3 Basho later and had 2 consecutive losing records because he missed the rest of that Basho and missed all of the next Basho. He was not demoted to Sekewake after 2 consecutive losing records.
Huh.
He came back for 1 tournament and got an 8-7. He immediately became injured again and had 2 more consecutive losing records, once again pulling out of the beginning part of the first one and completely missing the second one. He was not demoted to Sekewake. He came back for 5 tournaments and won his second Yusho. And then 2 Basho after winning his second Yusho, he became injured again and had 2 more consecutive losing records, once again pulling out at the beginning part of the first one and then missing the entire second one. He was demoted to Sekewake at this time. So what happened the first 2 times where he wasn't demoted to Sekewake, but the third time this happened, he was demoted to Sekewake? Well, the first 2 times he had consecutive losing records occurred in the years 2002 and 2003. The third time happened in 2004. What is different about 2004? The Kosho Seido system was eliminated at the end of 2003. And the Kosho Seido system allowed a Rikshi that was injured in the ring to miss the next Basho without any effect to his rank. So effectively, if you were an Ozeki, if you got injured in the ring, you had to have 3 straight losing records to drop your rank if you completely missed one of those Basho. So the first 2 times that he had consecutive losing records, he was using the Kosho Seido system, so that time that he missed the entire Basho did not affect his rank. That was eliminated at the end of 2003, and so when this happened again in 2004, he dropped down to Sekewake.
So he was the reason they got rid of that.
Could be.
Yeah.
So after he dropped rank to Sekewake. He went 10-5 as a Sekewake and was promoted back to Ozeki. He immediately became injured in the next Basho and missed most of the next two Basho, once again demoted to Sekewake. He then went 11-4 as Sekewake and was promoted back to Ozeki again. And then he participated in 13 more Basho as an Ozeki, winning one more Yusho, and retired as an Ozeki in 2007. And that is the story of Tochi Azuma.
Sorry if there was background commotion there. The girls got home and immediately let all three dogs outside.
That's what that was.
It's a bit of a disaster, but I think everybody's back now.
All right, we're just going to do real quick on Fantasy and ELO. We have our Fantasy Sumo Contest winner. That is at Our Man in Japan. He provided...
Brett?
What?
No, that's Our Man in Japan. But this is
at Our Man in Japan.
At Our Man in Japan.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, B, you're still Our Man in Japan.
Yes.
But not at.
Right.
I think it makes sense.
I think.
Everybody at home's following
Anyway.
along. The contest this time was to send us puns based on song names or band names, and some examples that at Our Man in Japan provided us were Boys to Mendo, Yagugu Dolls,
I like that one.
and then one of my personal favorites, Macy Elliott, followed up by the just as eloquent Macy J. Blige,
Nice.
and for some reason, my absolute favorite, Mai Shikona. And so that he will be joining us for Fantasy this Basho. Everybody else that participated, this was another fantastic participation. We had a lot of really good entries, and this was not an easy decision to make. So we look forward to your submissions in our next fantasy contest.
All right, and a quick overview of our power rankings from the previous Basho. Hakuho, no surprise, is at 1146, 43 points higher than second place.
Jeez.
These are these rankings, by the way, are all based around an average. An average top division wrestler is at 1,000, and our cutoff for being the absolute elite is basically 1,100. So anybody more than 100 points above average is the top of the top. More than 100 points below average, you're probably going to Juryo, which we had one guy, Ishiura, managed to be saved by the weird Bonsuke and did not get demoted despite being under 900. Mm-hmm. But either way, Hakuho at 1146. This is classic Hakuho. He and Goedo, Ichinojo, and Takakeisho all cleared that 1100 barrier. But like I said, Ishiura is the big winner in power rankings here because our predictive our demotion predictor tool basically said he probably should have gone. But we'll keep that updated over the course of the Basho. We'll tweet out a link so that you can see our interactive graph as the Basho goes on of where everybody's at.
All right, and Fleric, why don't you start us off for what everyone is most excited for in the Natsu Basho?
I think the storyline I'm most excited for is Tochinoshin, about whether or not he can get his Ozeki rank back again, and hopefully culminating to an awesome Kakuryu versus Tochinoshin match.
I totally agree. The other one I'm really excited for is Takakeisho's Ozeki debut. Hopefully all the ceremony and stuff didn't slow down his training too much because I really want him to succeed there.
I really want to see how the sweet 8-pound 6-ounce baby Enho does in his Makuuchi debut. I mean, he's proven in Juryo that he's wily enough to get winning records against Sekitori, so let's see if he can do it against the top-ranked guys.
For me, I'm just waiting to see how my boy does now that he's back in the big rigs. Big rig? He is a big rig. Big league. I can speak. Chiyomaru. Want to see how he performs now that he's back.
Yeah. Enho and Chiyomaru. More so Enho.
More so Enho, but I can't not say no to Chiyomaru.
Those two would make a great sitcom, I think.
Absolutely.
And with that will wrap up our Natsu preview episode. The Basho is going to start on Sunday, May 12th. Say hello to your mom on that day, and also wish Ryan a happy birthday.
I think
you don't have to do the latter. We don't blame you.
Ryan's birthday, Mother's Day, Basho starts. I think that's the order, the reverse order of importance there.
Yeah, no, I'd actually agree with that wholeheartedly. But you can check us out on Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review on that or your favorite podcast listening service.
You can find us on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, and now newly Instagram, Grand Sumo Breakdown.
You can check out our blog, grandsumo.breakdown.com, and our YouTube channel as well, where all our episodes will be posted.
If you have any questions, comments, or corrections, drop us a line at grandsumobreakdown@gmail.com or give us a call at 805-613-7866. That's 805-613-SUMO.
All right, we will have a midway episode after about the first week or so. So until then, we will see you next time. Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown.
Until next time.
Throw your salt high.
And keep moving forward.
A prepared response to the statements made by me on the Horror Review. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you are listening to this podcast. There were many statements made by myself on the Horror Review podcast that were either misleading, half-truths, or patently false. I would like to address the most egregious of these statements at this time.
Oh, what? What's this muting thing that just happened right here?
Yeah, why don't we just draw the punishment while we wait for Ryan to come back to his senses?
Yeah.
You're really not going to let me read this?
I mean, we don't want to.
Yeah.
Get it over with.
All right. I have not, nor will I ever advocate for a Yokozuna promotion for either Goeido or Aoyama. Goeido is certainly a top talent in the world of sumo, but has a proven track record of inconsistency that will never allow him to reach the highest peak in the world of sumo. And while I wish Aoyama all the best at his current Komosubi rank, I don't think any of us could look in the mirror and tell ourselves that this man is Ozeki material, let alone Yokozuna. Furthermore, Hokuto Fuji will always be my boy and not Aoyama. I also feel that I must clear the air as to which sports teams I pledge allegiance to. I am a proud fan and alumni of Iowa State University. This has been a lifelong love affair, and never have I had any thoughts of supporting the team out east. Iowa is and forever will be a Cyclone state. And just to make absolutely clear, I loathe and hate with every fiber of my being the Green Bay Packers. That team represents everything that is wrong with our country. I am proud to be a supporter of a team that is the shining beacon of morality and entertaining American football, the Minnesota Vikings. I know I can leave no doubt in the minds of my detractors as to which NFL team I support with the following two statements: FTP and Skull Vikings. Finally, I would like to address the other miscellaneous falsehoods that you may have heard on the Horror Review. My dog Piper, my perfect princess, is the cutest pupper that has ever existed. Sidewalks and most everything people refer to as cement is, in fact, concrete. I am the most educated man on this podcast.
Jeez.
You had to get the concrete thing in there.
I am the most educated man on this podcast regarding both the WWE and NFL. To say otherwise would be laughable and insulting. The Kill Bill movies are modern masterpieces and perfect in every way. And in conclusion, my wife's work stories are very boring.
Okay.